tread lightly on.
Don't bring it up.
That's what I'm
I'll take care of it. I will take care of it.
Call this meeting to order. This is the Delaware County Commissioners meeting. It's Monday, May 8th, 2023. Time is 9:01. Last Thursday morning, all the guys at EMS, that group that was working that day, at the end of their shift, everyone went home with the exception of one. Kurt Matthews, a paramedic. Also, he was a firefighter in Daleville. He'd also been a police officer in a couple departments throughout the county. Kurt passed away in his bunk on duty, serving the citizens of Delaware County. And yes, ma'am. I want to open the meeting. A moment of silence for Kurt. So let's stand. Thank you, Kurt. You'll be missed. Mike, will you start us off with the pledge, please?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Shannon Henry.
Here.
Mr. King. Here. Ms. Reagan.
Present.
Okay, we have appointments, Travel and Tourism Board. Sherry, you had
I
somebody?
think we have one appointment left, and I met a real nice guy a couple weeks ago that I think would serve us well. Ken Reed, he's a retired school teacher. He has the time and the passion for our community, and I think we'd appreciate his serving.
Is that a motion?
I'll make that a motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Mr. King. Yes. Ms. Reagan.
Yes.
Mr. Henry.
Yes.
E.E.
Thank you, Sherry. Next is approval of minutes, April 17th, 2023 Commissioners meeting.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for the approval of minutes. Roll call, please.
Mr. King.
Yes.
Ms. Reagan.
Yes.
Mr. Henry.
Yes. Next, we have presentations to the Commissioners, BW Construction, RQAW.
Good morning. Dustin Fry with BW Construction. We have a few representatives from RQAW as well as WellPath here with me today. Wanted to give the board an update on kind of where we've been over these last several months as we've investigated the opportunity to put in a mental health facility over near the jail and justice center campus. Late last year, we were contracted under the BOT to investigate building out the existing, what was the old pool area in the building that is now the Justice Center. We spent a few months working with RQAW as well as WellPath in what that would look like to fit a mental health facility in the pool. What we discovered is that while it was doable, it was going to be extremely tight, as well as limiting the opportunity for growth for both the services that are provided in the current Justice Center, as well as what this mental health facility could be in years to come. So here recently, we were tasked with looking at building a standalone facility on the campus. And that's what we're here today to share with you on kind of what that may look like. This is by no means the final plan. We've actually gone through about, I think this might be option 5, but settling into to the right size, shape, expansion ability, the number of beds, working with WellPath on what programs and services would be provided, and we'll kind of go through that. So in terms of, I want to caveat this with, as you can see, kind of a conceptual site plan here. This large building here to the left is the current Justice Center. We show this over on the tennis court area, but there are numerous areas within that property that the county owns that we could look at putting this facility. We haven't really studied the actual location of where it will go. So this was just an easy place to put it. It is an area that would work. If we did put it here, we would move it up and over to not impact the parking area that's secure currently for judges and other members of the Justice Center. So with that, I want to turn it over to Sanjay and Eugene to kind of talk through maybe the floor plan and kind of the building itself, and then we'll let Corey with WellPath talk about services and programming, and then we'll come back up.
Good morning. Sanjay Patel with RQAW Corporation. A lot of what I was going to say, Dustin already mentioned. So the one thing I just want to mention here before I let Eugene talk about the floor plan is the fact that, you know, this is a voluntary facility. So locating it inside the confines of the existing Justice Center has the optics of maybe, you know, not being so voluntary as, you know, something standalone. So while we looked at it seriously about, you know, in the pool and the cost savings that it might provide, going to a standalone facility with the expansion capabilities and the appearance of the building, as Eugene will show you, definitely lends to this being more successful as you know, as the kind of facility we've designed. So I'll let Eugene take over. If there's any questions after that, happy to answer them.
Did you happen to bring any copies of the presentation?
You mean hard copies? No, we do not have any hard copies. We can give you an electronic file if that's okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll need one, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, my name is Eugene Versosky with RQAW Corporation. So the design of the floor plan is what I want to discuss first. And working with county administrators and WellPath team, we came up with a design that pretty much looks like this. Again, as Dustin mentioned, it's preliminary. The design focuses on a couple key things. One is maximizing the square footage of the space we're providing for programming space, and then tying it back to the adjacent facility that's already on site. The main and primary entrance is going to be off the west of the building, and plan north is to the right, to the left, excuse me. So the primary entrance here, as you walk in, there's a waiting lobby with a receptionist and a transaction counter. There's a series of administrative spaces in this light blue, consisting of an interview room, several offices for the WellPath team, some open office space, and a staff break room, as well as some staff restrooms. Adjacent to the lobby, we have some dedicated restroom for any visitors, and then as well as a nursing station and a drug screening space as well. As you walk past a secure door, there's a path back to the residence area. Then there's some support services spaces like a mechanical room, general storage, IT rooms, and a plumbing room. Once you get past that space, there's access to each residence wing, consisting of 2 single-person bedrooms, 3 double-person bedrooms, and 3 4-person bedrooms. They're all surrounded by a general living room space that all the residents can share. The way it's kind of divided is male and female, so you can pick males on one side and females on the other. The other things that were very important to the facility were, because it's a standalone facility, we needed some support spaces like restrooms, showers, laundry. And then based on our discussions recently, we also felt like it was important to have a kitchen area to support the residents as they get treatment while they stay here. As far as design, we focused on really tying it into the existing facility and making it feel like a private residence more so than a detention jail. So we really played up softer materials, brick, fiber cement siding, large open windows to allow natural daylighting to each sleeping space. And then, although it's not really represented here, we want to add some natural daylighting into the living room areas as well. Probably from the ceiling in this case, or maybe some natural light going through the exterior windows and over the top of the partitions. As far as the roof, we're thinking about something softer like a shingle roof. We looked at maybe a standing seam metal roof as well. Those are some options available. And then the exterior design more or less looks kind of like this. The total square footage for the first phase of the design is going to be 11,825 square feet, if I recall correctly. 11,825, and it will consist of 40 beds total. Now I'm going to turn over to Corey to discuss the WellPath team.
Thanks, Eugene. First, I want to commend our design and construction teams for what they've come up with thus far, because it's imperative that we have a safe, judgment-free, welcoming space for people to recover in and get well. And I really commend those efforts, the natural lighting, the softer aesthetics on the exterior. This is a voluntary place where we could send our family and friends if needed, or go there ourselves. And to be close enough in proximity to on the Justice campus for the services there, but be separate enough that it's welcoming still. What I wanted to share with the group today is that part of programming, what WellPath brings to the table is 25 years of expertise in helping those in the mental health field get well. We know that our parent company and sister company, WellPath, treats a number of vulnerable patient populations in criminal justice settings and has done so for quite some time. But our sister company, Recovery Solutions, even though it carries the WellPath brand, is a standalone mental health and behavioral health services organization. We have over 3,000 patients in 60 locations in 10 states, and we have a vast array of curriculum to meet people where they're at. At the end of the day, everybody's traveled a different journey, and they're arriving on the doors of this facility with different experiences, different trauma. You know, not everybody's cookie cutter. So we have a pretty deep curriculum to pick from, and as the building furthers in its design state and we finalize on what the grounds look like, we'll be able to share programming to the extent indoors and outdoors and the utilization of this space. As I said, we've been doing this for 25 years. Our first was in 1997 in South Florida, where we run the state hospital there for the state. We provide curriculum there for all of its residents, and it is a minimally secure facility that we still operate to this day. So as we've been working with the team to come up with designs and space needs, we pull from our locations where we have hospitals and residential treatment centers, 11 of which across the country, We also do competency restoration programming. We offer community-based services, and we operate behavioral health hospitals. Again, these are all outside of the correctional setting. So these are all standalone entities, facilities where WellPath operates, but under the Recovery Solutions flag. These are a couple of the facilities in which we've been a part of and helped design as well. So all of our programming is evidence-based. It's all individualized. So it's, your son or daughter, husband or wife, whomever comes in, or yourself, you're not going to get the same treatment that someone else is. This is a 23 to 30-day stay facility. Again, it's a 40-bed facility to start out with. We understand the needs of the county and the surrounding areas may be greater and may grow with time. And so we're excited that there is expandability in the design of the facility and appreciative of the kitchen and laundry services to help maintain it and stand alone. I should note that those facilities inside, they give an opportunity for the residents to learn skills and trades as well during their time in the program. So again, this will be shared with everyone, but it shows some before and afters of our partnerships with state and county governments, where we're able to enhance programming of existing facilities and create new programming for new facilities. In this particular model with Bridgewater State Hospital, we were able to reduce 95% of the restraints and seclusions that were being done previously prior to our involvement. We do a lot of community-based activities. When I say community, I mean the 40 residents working in conjunction with each other with their programming. This is just a very small sampling of some of the care that we provide throughout our agencies. Don't like reading slides, so. So one of our largest facilities, we have 300 to 160 bed facilities. We operate one in Massachusetts that is strictly focused on alcohol and substance abuse. A lot of our in lieu of incarcerations in this voluntary facility will give community members an opportunity to recover and reform as an alternative to being incarcerated. A lot of our facilities are very welcoming on the outside. We try to utilize lots of color, lots of natural light, and opportunities to make it therapeutic, safe, and welcoming. We do IOP services at many of our locations, including this location in Palm Beaches. And then some of you may be familiar with Davidson County Sheriff's Office and the behavioral care center that we operate there. It's similar in size to the facility that we're talking about today. It's a 60-bed state licensed facility. It is co-ed as well. And it's a partnership between WellPath Recovery Solutions and the state. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's just different divisions.
So, thank you, Corey. So I guess, where do we go from here? We are ready to go to the next step from a design phase, where we can get into more details and really reform this design into what it would actually be. We've looked at high-level costs of this facility. That cost for something like this is in the neighborhood of $4.5 to $5.5 million. As we progress through design, we'd be able to nail that down and ultimately deliver the GMP to the county under the BOT. we're also here and willing and ready, and Pete's here and can talk as to help facilitate the county in whatever it is, and identifying necessary grants or other funding mechanisms that may be out there. So with that, it concludes our presentation, and we'll open it up to any questions that you may have.
I know we've been working on this ever since we opened up the jail to try to get this done. I'm actually ready to move to the next phase with everything that goes on with it within our county and our surrounding counties with mental health, with drug addiction. This is something we really need here in our community. We need it for our surrounding counties also, to where they can also use this facility. And that's what we've always looked toward, was making this a regional facility, not only for Delaware County, but also the surrounding counties. But I'm ready to move forward with you guys and WellPath to get this done.
Could we go back to the first screen, the layout? I still have some questions about if that's the right place. I was hoping we could save the tennis court and redo it for half-court basketball, tennis, and pickleball. But I still worry about the driveway, how much we're going to be looking at. The parking space is very tight right now. The drainage is bad. And yeah, before I go too much farther, I'd like to see a good drainage plan. Yeah, because I think that tennis court's on a low spot myself. But I do like the design and what all you've been doing, but I still question the layout of
I think one of the things, Sherry, is going forward with the design of the building, because we have so much area out there that we can look at other areas, but actually getting the design of the building down and the cost of the building, because I know the state's coming out with the grant money, and I want to make sure that we are ready to move forward so we don't lose out on any of the grant money to go toward building this facility.
I understand. I don't think it'd take too long to do what I'm asking. I could be wrong. I just think.
I think we can do it all at the same time.
At the same time, I agree. We need to move forward, and just so that people know, we have been working to try to get state funding as well as federal funding for this project. So we are working behind the scenes to do that. But it would be an important addition to this community.
And Commissioner Reagan's, it's Pete Peterson with RQAW DCCM for the record. And I certainly appreciate your questions. If we go back to the Justice Center, which I was obviously involved with all the way through that process, in the BOT delivery method that you have, there was a scoping fee that was allowed in that particular job, which then we got to real detail work, because we're going to start doing a lot of civil engineering for the questions that you asked. And while they do it on an everyday basis, it requires hours and hours of work to get that done. So what we're trying to do is give you guys that preliminary 50,000 foot level. This is what it looks like. Here's where the general costs are. And then when the rubber meets the road, when we start getting into detailed design before you go to construction drawings, right, there's an immense amount of work that's going to go on, not only from architecture, but from civil engineering. And that's where you're going to move it around. You're going to get your drainage issues done. You're going to get your parking issues addressed. All that's going to be taken care of in that next phase if we move forward from here. So we would move forward from here on approval from the commissioners to do that. Then we put a scoping period in place, and we'd assign a value to that, and then we move forward from there to get all your questions answered, Sherry, as we move forward, just as we did on that Justice Center, right? If you remember how much interplay and how many countless hours I spent up here in front of you guys doing these meetings, you're going to see us a lot more again if we continue to move forward in the same fashion that we did that Justice Center. So I appreciate all your questions. Super great questions. I think we're just a little ahead of the game. And as the funding method goes, the state did appropriate a lot of money for mental health. You guys saw that. From the lobbying side that you guys will have to do, RQAW, DCCM, myself, and Troy Woodruff are absolutely prepared to help you guys out in that lobbying effort. I happen to be, living in a city where the Speaker of the House is, and he's a personal friend, so that never hurts to have the Speaker of the House on your side. So, and he is obviously well positioned to want to go ahead and do something. I've already spoken to him about this, by the way. He thinks it's great. If you look around the state right now, there's other people talking about this. To my knowledge, there's no one in a position where you guys are at right now. No one has the detail of things that have gone on there, along with a service provider of WellPath to go ahead and administer it, that's going on in the state. Everybody's talking about it. No one is at the level where you guys are at right now.
So what's today the square footage cost we looking at?
We're in that $400 a square foot range.
Thank you.
You wanna move forward?
I'll make a motion and we move forward.
Second.
We have a motion to move forward with the project and a second. Roll call, please.
Mr. King,
Yes.
Ms. Reagan,
Yes.
Mr. Henry.
Yes.
Move
Now it's
forward,
time to
guys.
work.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next is Together DM Plan, Muncie Action Plan. Okay.
Good morning, Commissioners. Mitch Isaacs here on behalf of Muncie Action Plan with my colleague Heather Williams. About 2 years ago, Muncie Action Plan partnered with the Delaware Muncie Metropolitan Plan Commission to work on a new county master plan. Over the course of about a year, we worked with various community organizations, individuals to gather feedback on how to move Delaware County over the next 2 decades. As a result of that work, the Together DM Plan was produced and was adopted by this body. It was adopted by City Council, I think perhaps County Council too, and the mayor was a part of the steering committee. We had hoped to begin work on the Together DM Plan this year, and we looked for Marta Moody to play a key role in that plan. And unfortunately, with her passing, the Together DM Plan has stalled out. And so, per Commissioner Henry's recommendation, we met with Alan Wisely, the president of the Muncie, Delaware County Metropolitan Planning Commission, to talk about how do we move forward with this without Marta. And so Heather and I discussed with Alan and came up with an action plan. And Commissioners, as you know, we sent you a message saying that what we'd like to do
Carry this up.
moving forward is this. Muncie Action Plan really is responsible for the Muncie strategic investment portion of this plan. So MAP is going to focus on Muncie. We need your help focusing on the rest of Delaware County. So we need to pull a broad coalition of folks together that will help us think about the unincorporated areas and also the towns and other parts that are outside of the Muncie city limits. And so what we're asking you for are really 2 things. First, recommendations. We'd like 5 names from this body to serve on the Together DM Coalition. Second, we're asking for $10,000 to staff that. Without Marta, we're down people. And so the good thing about Muncie Action Plan is we do have 2 part-time staff members. Their time's pretty fairly well allocated. Muncie Action Plan has a very thin budget. It is a not-for-profit organization. There isn't money in our plan to pay our staff, aside from the things that we've already agreed to pay them to do. This would be additional work for our staff. Our staff would have to do things like organize meetings, staff meetings, take minutes and notes, help us reach out to planning team members, help secure space, basically administrative and clerical work. So we're asking you for recommendations for that body. You don't have to have that today. And we were asking for $10,000 in support. Our goal is to get the Together DM Plan moving. It's been approved by all areas of local government. It's what we need, and we've all agreed we need to do to move the county forward. We don't want this to lapse anymore. Obviously, we wanted to give it a little bit of time after Marta's passing to give everybody an opportunity to get settled in. And so these are our requests. If you approve this request, then I think President Piper is in the room. We'll be going to County Council and asking County Council for 5 recommendations from County Council as well. We want to make sure that the county is well represented in this plan. The steering committee's job will be to help advance the plan. You've all seen the plan, you've all approved the plan, and so the committee's job is really to help advance that and make sure the plan moves forward. The funding will help us do that. What questions can I answer?
Well, when I went to my very first Muncie Action Plan, I believe it was at 2009 or 10, they started organizing, and I wondered why the county wasn't involved. And then I found out later that there was some parties that couldn't work together back then. So I am very pleased that you're here today to ask for our support. And I also noticed on Task Force 3, it says city neighborhoods.
Yes.
And I do know that Ms. Moyer says that we have about 33 additions out in the county. And I would like to see them to be invited to participate. And
Well,
how much more money we might be talking about, I don't know, but
Well, I don't think that will require any money. And Commissioner Riggin, as you know, I'm a proponent of county neighborhoods. And so if you'd like to see county neighborhoods represented, then that could be one of the 5 appointments we're asking you to make to the Planning Commission. And so obviously, I think we're going to want folks from the farming community would be another place. And so when you look at the plan, I think it'll be clear to you. The city neighborhoods really are more a part of the Muncie Strategic Investment Plan. So this is really 2 plans. The Muncie Strategic Investment Plan is a part of the Together DM plan, because of course Muncie's within the county, but the Together DM coalition is really more about, again, the county areas and the areas outside of Muncie. That's what we're looking to make sure is well represented and help us advance the objectives in the plan.
yeah, I'm sure we could find some money in our EDA plan, that wellness division.
I would like to take a look at it first, because I know we're
Yeah, we could table now. I'll move.
running
What was
short.
your deadline?
We're really just trying to get it, there's no hard deadline. It's just the longer we wait, the longer the plan sits there. And it was about a $250,000 plan, so we'd like to get it started and put into
Waiting
place.
2 weeks?
Yeah,
We can wait,
That's
Can
fine.
you wait 2 weeks?
we
for
can
our
wait
next
2 weeks.
meeting?
That's fine.
I'll
We
move.
won't talk 30, 40 days, 2 weeks.
That's fine.
And I will say that the QR code at the top corner will take you directly to where the plan's located on the webpage, so you can take a look at the whole
I
document.
move we table it.
And even if you're not, the money, if it takes 2 weeks, if it takes a month, that's fine. But I do think the low-hanging fruit here is who are the 5 folks that you all would like to see appointed to that plan, and really looking at the QR code, like Heather said, will probably help you figure out who you want to have represented. And like I said, I know she's in the room, so President Piper, after we settle this here, we'll be coming to you and asking for 5 recommendations as well.
We have 6 towns.
Mhm.
What if we picked or looked at somebody from each town to represent the county?
Honestly, we picked 5 out of a hat, so if 6 makes more sense, that's totally fine.
With having 6 towns, I think that it would be good to have them have some kind of say also in this. You know,
Absolutely.
Yeah, I like that.
I've seen what some of the communities have done, with their splash pads and different other events and stuff. I think it would be good to bring them into the fold.
Well, and honestly, Commissioner King, or any of the commissioners, if it needs to be a little bit bigger than 5, whether it's 6 or 7, we were just kind of picking a number. So I think it's more important that we have a group of people that you feel like represents what the county needs for this plan, and then the same from county council. We won't be asking city council for that, because if you look at the people who are already involved under the Together DM coalition, a lot of those folks are already from the city of Muncie or pretty invested in the city of Muncie. So whatever number you all feel like you need to recommend to support this plan, we're fine with.
Okay,
Yeah.
We'll take a look at it.
Okay?
Thank you.
We'll return in 2 weeks. Thank you all very much.
thank you.
I have a motion to table it.
Second.
We have a motion to table, a second, roll call, please.
Mr. King,
Yes.
Ms. Reagan,
Yes.
Ms. Henry.
Yes. Next is Roger McConnell here.
I did not see.
Okay. We're going down to contracts and agreements for approval, local roads, bridges, matching grant agreement. Angie?
Good morning, Commissioners. This agreement is for the recent NDOT award to replace
Bridge 86, located on 650 East at Campbell Creek. They have awarded us up to $640,000 towards construction. This is a digital contract, so once I receive your approval, then Commissioner Henry would need to sign.
Sign it.
Move we accept.
Second it.
We have a motion for approval and a second. Roll call, please.
Mr. King,
Yes.
Ms. Reagan,
Yes,
Ms. Henry.
Yes.
thank you, Angie.
Next is the Westdale Community Schools Phase 1 drainage application, Angie.
Yes, Schmidt Associates is an engineering firm representing Westdale Community Schools, and they are asking for a drainage variance for my application that we have in our office. They are just changing the materials for the high school track and field from existing is currently grass right now, and they're going to change it to permeable synthetic turf. Our contractual engineer has reviewed this and recommends acceptance. I just need your formal approval.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion to approve the request and a second. Roll call, please.
Mr. King,
Yes.
Ms. Reagan,
Yes,
Ms. Henry.
Yes.
Thank you.
Next is Arnold's Place Plot Action Land Surveyors.
Good morning.
morning.
My name is Kathy from Nice, and I'm from Ashton Land Surveyor. We have already gone through the plat committee and have approval for a 2-acre, 1-lot subdivision, which is down there off of Burlington. They have already proven that they have the capacity for second septic, and so we're ready to go. I'm asking that we can dedicate the road right away on Burlington in front of the house to the commissioners.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion to approve the request and a second. Roll call, please.
Mr. King,
Yes.
Ms. Reagan,
Yes,
Ms. Henry.
Yes.
Thank you.
Next is Mr. Cummings, grant acceptance from the Ball Brothers Foundation.
This is a $3,500 grant towards training costs that the Ball Foundation granted us.
move we accept.
Second.
A motion for approval and a second. Roll call, please.
Mr. King,
Yes.
Ms. Reagan,
Yes,
Ms. Henry.
Yes. Next, Mr. Carroll, Delaware County Constellation.
Yeah, this is the contracts we had last meeting.
Okay.
It's really intended to decrease the cost of our utilities. And we put this in place about 8 months ago. I believe that's when you guys, commissioners actually executed that contract. So this is just adding this building here. Must have been oversight to the original contract.
Make a motion to approve.
second.
We have a motion to approve the request and a second. Roll call, please.
Mr. King,
Yes.
Ms. Reagan,
Yes,
Ms. Henry.
Yes. Would you like to continue on with the next one, Ed?
Sure. This is actually with HR. This is a contract. This company here is locally here in Muncie. This is to review all of the job duties and classifications, assist with any type of questions concerning HR needs. So we've been working with HR in reference to this, and they provide a contract for us to move forward.
How's this going to be paid for?
But we've got the council here to discuss that also.
Morning, Commissioners. Jessica Piper, Delaware County Council President. I'm here with fellow members of our County Council Finance Committee. This has been brought to us a couple months ago, I think. Pam and Ed brought this to us many years ago. Since I've been on council, we've been talking about doing a salary review and updating job descriptions and the such. And Scott and I actually started working, kind of looking into this last year. So I was very excited when Ed and Pam came to finance to let us know about this. So I just wanted to ask the finance committee to come here to show our support in moving forward with this particular plan in this organization. I don't know if my fellow finance committee members have anything else to add.
I would just say, although I'm new to the council, I've been through several budget processes, and you know, frankly, the council is working in the dark when it comes to salaries. We either do it on an ad hoc basis that a particular department makes their case for their employees, or we give across-the-board increases, percentage or a dollar amount. And this would very much help us, I think, have a framework to work within in assessing our county employees and their salaries. So we do support it. Thank you.
Thank you. I kind of have a question. As James and I think we're into our 11th year as county commissioners. When I first became a commissioner, I saw the need after a year or two that we needed a civil engineer on staff. And we've had engineers in the past. And the problem was that they did not give that engineer a staff to work with. So it put a lot of burden on our existing staff. So I think it's time that we are doing this, that we add a civil engineer. So I don't know how much this might raise this figure, but who do we go to and how do we design it?
Well, actually, that's a great question. So budgets will be due July 1st, so throw it in your budget.
Okay.
And we'll discuss it during our working session.
That's what I'll try to get done.
All
Thank
right.
you very much.
So this contract is $96,640. Can you guys pay for that? Do you have some way to pay for that? You do? So we're kind of running tight on some things.
We wouldn't come before you if we didn't.
Just making it clear.
I know.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion to approve the contract with Wagner and a second. Roll call, please.
Mr. King,
Yes.
Ms. Reagan,
Yes.
Mr. Henry.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good to see you
I had to
here.
put you on the spot.
It's sort of nice having somebody come up and say they're gonna pay for something. for a change, you know?
I just want to make
That
it
was a
clear.
nice surprise. I didn't know that.
Normally it's, can I have money?
All right, ordinance for the first reading, ordinance 2023-014, Delaware County Establishing Fund. The deposit of payments, gifts, donations are similar for the Emergency Communications Center. So,
You know, Fred's here. I did not get Mr. Brook emailed over the weekend, but when I read this, it's come to my attention that EMS has a fund, sheriff has a fund, and the county general does not have a fund, that if we were to go out and get donations, and many times we could use something, and I just didn't know, Danielle, if it'd be too late to change this to, instead of saying Emergency Communications Center, and Fred and I have had a talk about this, that if we, let's say he was to go out and get a nice 3,000 donation for something, that he would keep track of it in-house. But then if we were to get something for the county general employees, that we also could keep track of the money that comes in and goes out.
I personally would rather set up one for
I'd keep them separate.
911 and then set up another one for.
Well,
the
what
county
I was
general.
thinking, having worked in the auditor's office for 17 years, I was always hearing how many funds we have around here. So, Mr. Carroll, I was going to ask you if you had any qualms with establishing more funds all the time and not eliminating the funds.
I think I'd first have to check with the State Board of Accounts to make sure there's not an issue with keeping fund or donations from, that go to particular departments and not having it tied to funds. Because that's how they separate those monies to make sure they go to those particular offices.
I can understand that.
So what you're describing is potentially setting up that separate tracking system that all the money goes into one fund and disperse it from that. I'm not sure if we can do that or not.
Because if we went county general, you know, it might be a donation for a certain department, I don't know, but
But I think with the emergency services, though, it's a little different.
Well, that could be.
I'd rather have a separate donation
That's
line
fine.
for them.
I'll move we accept as presented.
Second.
So, you make a motion to introduce,
As presented.
and James second. Roll call, please.
Mr. King,
Yes.
Ms. Reagan,
Yes.
Mr. Henry.
Yes. Now, I know,
You need the rules suspended?
yes, he has it
Make a
checked.
motion to suspend the rules.
Second.
We have a motion to suspend the rules and a second. Roll call, please.
Mr. King.
Yes.
Ms. Reagan.
Yes.
Mr. Henry.
Yes.
Make a motion we adopt 2023-014.
Second.
We have a motion to adopt the ordinance establishing the donation fund for 911 and a second. Roll call, please.
Mr. King.
Yes.
Ms. Reagan.
Yes.
Mr. Henry.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks, Fred.
Thanks, Fred.
Next, we have resolutions for approval. Danielle, you have a copy of that?
I do.
Do you mind reading it?
Sure. And we're going with the one that says memorial, correct?
Correct,
That
yeah,
was the
yeah,
change
yes, yeah.
that you guys saw over
Yes.
the weekend. So this is resolution number 2023-015, resolution of the Delaware County Board of Commissioners honoring the passing of Jane Lassiter and naming the Delaware County Fairgrounds Grandstand in her honor. Whereas Delaware County lost a valued member of the county council and more importantly, a cherished member of the community and the fairgrounds, Jane Lassiter. And whereas Jane Lassiter was a tremendous supporter of all of the youth and 4-H programs in the county, as well as a tireless volunteer for a number of years at the Delaware County Fair. Jane Lassiter was a fixture at all of the animal shows, and her family was a proud sponsor of many awards to the 4-H members because she also cherished their accomplishments and achievements as much as their participants. And whereas Jane Lassiter made the fairgrounds and fair operations an important part of her and her family's lives to the betterment of the entire community. And whereas Jane Lassiter was an important and integral part of the countless improvements at the fairgrounds, including replacing the old dilapidated grandstands with new facilities that make viewing of events better and safer for everyone in the community. And whereas Delaware County and the Delaware County Fair have lost a unique and special asset and supporter in Jane Lassiter, but her family will carry on her work, and the members of the public that attend will always be reminded of her dedication and passion that was the Delaware County Fairgrounds by naming the grandstand in her honor. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Commissioners of Delaware County, Indiana, the grandstand at the Delaware County Fairgrounds will now and forever be named Jane Lassiter Memorial Grandstand. The Board of Commissioners shall commence to create a plaque and large display sign to affix to the grandstand showing the name and honoring Jane Lassiter and all of her work and commitment to the Delaware County Fair. A copy of this resolution shall be made a part of the permanent record of the activities of the Delaware County Board of Commissioners. Duly adopted by the Board of Commissioners of Delaware County at the regular scheduled public meeting held the 8th day of May, 2023.
Thank you.
Very good.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution number 2023-015 in honor and memory of Jane Lassiter.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. King.
Yes.
Ms. Reagan.
Yes.
Mr. Henry.
Yes. Danielle, thanks for doing that. We appreciate all the Fair Board members being here today. We appreciate everything that Jane has done for the county, and that's very fitting. And we will get a sign and get it put up there, and County Highway is working on that now. So we'll get something nice and put up there. So thank all you guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Fair Board would like to thank all of you as well for coming through with this for Jane and her family. I know Melanie appreciates it. Our Fair Board this year appreciates it. In the years past, Fair Board appreciates what you did for them. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next, department heads and elected officials. Marta Moody's Celebration of Life is May 20th, 2023. And that's at, you want to come up to the, That is out at the bridge.
Yes. Hi, Denise. Brandy Ingerman. It's at the Kitzelman Trailhead on East Jackson.
What time? 11?
It begins at 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock.
And then there's going to be a dedication at 12:30, I believe. And then the Cardinal Greenway, the depot on Weiser, they're going to also have a reception afterwards for anyone who wants to go down after that.
Okay. Very good. Thank you.
Yep.
Good morning. Just want to speak a few words about, bear with me. We lost a great paramedic Thursday early morning, and we found him deceased on station. Kurt Matthews. He wasn't just a co-worker or an employee, he was a good friend. He passed away while he was on duty. He had 17 years of service with us for the county, and had dedicated most of his life to emergency services because before he came here, he was a volunteer firefighter, EMT, reserve police officer, and he truly dedicated his life to the community. It's going to leave a huge hole in our department as a leader and a mentor, and he's going to leave a huge hole in this community because he had touched thousands of lives, and he's leaving that hole for the lives that he won't touch in the future. I'd like to give a big thank you to all the departments and political elected officials, EMS departments, fire departments, police departments, surrounding counties that's reached out to support us through this time. I would also like to ask that we could dedicate Station 2 in Yorktown in honor and memory of Kurt moving forward. I don't know how to word all that right now, but I'd like to bring that to your consideration to dedicate that structure to him.
I think that's only fitting. He worked there, worked his last shift there. And I think that it'd be fitting to honor him and making that Kurt Matthews Yorktown Station. Danielle, can you guys get something for the next meeting?
I grew up with Kurt. Spent 12 years on the Delaware Police Department with Kurt.
Yes, sir.
I'll put that into a motion.
Second.
We have a motion to honor Kurt Matthews by naming the Yorktown Station in his memory. Roll call, please.
Mr. King?
Yes.
Ms. Reagan?
Yes.
Ms. Chambering?
Yes. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Next, we have the MRSIC's Economic Development Bonds.
So council has already approved this. Essentially what happened is the index that they were under is going out and a new index is coming in. So the LIBOR index is going out. So all we need to do with this is a motion to allow the president to sign off on the documents. That's all our role is for this one.
So moved.
Second.
This one here has all three signatures. Do all three of us need to
Oh,
sign
does it?
Yeah, looks like it.
Okay.
I got the original too.
Okay. So we have a motion to approve and a second. Roll call, please.
Ms. King?
Yes.
Ms. Reagan?
Yes.
Mr. Henry?
Yes. Thank you, Danielle. Next, everybody received the weights and measures monthly report.
Yes, I did.
I'm sorry, did any other department heads want to speak? I apologize. Okay. We have the payment of claims, $1,321,305.68, and the payment of ARP claims of $185,416.43.
So move.
Second.
Motion to pay the claims and second. Roll call, please.
Ms. King?
Yes.
Ms. Reagan?
Yes.
Mr. Henry?
Yes. We have one person signed up, Rick Genser. I'm sorry.
Okay.
There's a second sheet?
Thanks, Carrie.
Rick Yenser, newsman, author, Muncie. I'm glad to see there's been some progress made on this treatment center that was promised a couple years ago. I know there's a lot of steps that have to be taken, but as your handler said today, you've got the money, the state's provided you the money, and it needs to be done. There's still a lot of people in poverty and homeless that need help, and mass incarceration is not the answer. Since the council's here and the commissioners are in session, I want to remind people too that, you know, our property taxes went up. We have to pay on Wednesday, and because of reassessment and more spending, there's been a continued rise in property taxes in this community. Now, the state granted homestead tax credit relief, but it's very nominal. I think what the government should do here locally is try to get more homestead tax credits built into future budgets, because I for one, and others who own businesses, farms, and homes are tired of paying more and not getting a whole lot. Thank you.
Curtis Westbrook.
Hi. My name is Curtis Westbrook, a concerned citizen of Muncie and Delaware County. I think the last time I was before the commission was in 1996, and I'm pretty much in here today for one of the same reasons. I noticed that I wasn't sure about the commission and the council, which one took care of this issue, but I understand that the commission is more like the mayor, the three people making the mayor, and then the council is like the city council. So I'm speaking to the commission as the head, and possibly that the head could talk to the council and get something done about this particular issue. The situation involves a traffic stop last summer by the sheriff's department. One of the county employees called and said that a person was taking things from her house. So the stop was engaged. I was driving, but the subject of the stop was my passenger. He was going through a divorce. Basically, make a long story short, I have video and audio of the stop, and I took up issue with it with the county sheriff's department. And long story short, again, Sheriff Skinner has basically said the buck stops with him. There is no oversight over his deputies. He's the one that says what goes on, what doesn't go on, and this is the end of the deal. Well, I'm asking the commission or the council, whoever, take a look at these videos and audio and make a determination yourself if there needs to be a citizen review board established with the county. The city has a police merit, fire and merit commission. I don't think the county has anything that oversees the officers and their duties. You got, even in the jail, and this is what I was about here in 1996, I asked for the same citizen review board, because in the jail, if you commit a crime, or they say you commit a crime, you're written up by a police officer, you appeal to a police officer, everything's about police officers. There is no citizen or no neutral view of what's going on in the situation. So I think the county commission or the council, whoever, really needs to consider a citizen review board. And I would like you guys to take a look at these videos. As the sheriff told me, nothing was going to be done about it. He's done what he's going to do, and that's it. The buck stops with him. So I think you guys should know that and should be concerned about that, especially with the day and age of police brutality and citizens being just killed by law enforcement. There really needs to be something oversight here before something happens.
Sir, I would suggest that if you feel like that your rights have been violated or there's been some kind of violation of law, if there's been a violation of law, I would suggest you talk with someone in the prosecutor's office if you feel that way. As far as your rights, if you feel like the officers have violated your rights, then I would speak with a civil attorney.
Okay, well, let me say this about the rights. Had I been a person, I knew my rights were being violated because I was pulled over, I was stopped. I wasn't the subject of the stop. The person that this complaint is about, the county employee, she waited until the lieutenant got there. When the lieutenant got there, she got out of her vehicle, got in the back of my truck, opened my trailer, took things off of my trailer, and this is all recorded. Now, had I been the guy that wanted to stand up for my rights and start arguing and fussing and fighting right there, we all know what would have happened to me.
Has been 3 minutes.
And so therefore, if they can do this, and then I can complain about it, and then they tell me that nothing's going to be done about it, then
Okay.
Mr. Westbrook, and I want people to sort of understand the difference between county and city. If we were sitting at the city and we were the mayor, we have control over all the departments. The difference between the city and the county is the sheriff is an elected official that is over his department.
Okay, can I stop you right there, please?
Right, but
this is going to be short. I just heard her say that after having 1 year as a commissioner, she saw the need for, okay? And then I just heard you guys talk about even naming a building in someone's name. But you guys can't consider having a citizen review board over your officers, the same people that a lawsuit would bring to your attention?
Yeah, they are actually not my officers. They are his officers.
They're the county, right?
He is an elected official in the county that is over the sheriff's department.
So I'm assuming you're not interested in seeing the videos or listening to the audio.
If you want,
the commission
if you want me to look at it, I'm fine with it.
Well, you've already basically said, because you didn't respond when I sent you the initial letter, you didn't respond until I followed
Sir,
up.
you've had your 3 minutes. If you'd like to talk to us afterwards, you can come up.
And I see right now this is going to continue because you guys have no oversight over your sheriff department. Thank you.
I do have one other thing,
Okay.
if that's all you have.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think we had an email on the weights and measures. We have an item that needs to be declared surplus. I didn't get a lot of detail about it.
I think it's
For the weights
is
and
it the
measures.
vehicle?
I think so.
I think it's,
This says a piece of equipment, that's all I know about.
Eric Stroud, Weights and Measures. It's what it is a 45-gallon prover tank that's on wheels that we currently aren't using right now, or we don't have any intention to since we have the slide-in unit on the truck. And there's been another county requested that if we're not going to use it, could they purchase it? And
You know, one time we were using that gov deal for, they would come in and take pictures and then put it on the line. And it was more of a fair way to get the value of it.
John's still doing that.
Yeah.
but I just was just questioning, you know, whether, because he had asked me a couple times, and it's a, you know, we're talking brand new. It's like an $8,000 piece of equipment, but.
John.
Morning, Commissioners. John Covino, Emergency Management. We do still operate with the gov deals. I just sold 5 pieces of equipment for the county highway. So next on my list is a vehicle from Weights and Measures, and also the fair has a vehicle.
Yeah, there's 2 vehicles out there, yeah.
John, I'm glad that we are using that because it does work. I
So
mean,
could we get the proof
That's
on
going
there
to be
too
up to you
then?
guys to, if you want to sell it directly to that county, or if you want to list it on gov deals, they'll have to go through the whole process like excuse me, like any other entity. So
Yeah.
that's a you guys' decision.
I just like the accountability that we're up front. Whoever, there might be another county that would like to give us,
We need to declare it
$50
as
more.
surplus though first, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll have to be deemed a surplus and whatever your guys' wishes are, so.
I'm glad you're using that. Thanks. I move that we make it a surplus. John?
We have a motion to declare the proofer surplus and a second. Roll call, please.
Mr. King,
Yes.
Mr. Reagan,
Yes.
Mr. Henry.
Yes.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
So is this gonna be an item that you want listed on Gov Deals or just
Yes.
sell?
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
And you'll have to, John, get with him.
That guy's pretty much given us, I'm sorry, I'm Cheryl. The gentleman we're trying to sell it to is pretty much giving us what we paid for it.
Well, I still like to use John's Gov Deals. Thank you.
He can go through Gov Deals and get it too.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say, just have, yeah, you guys get together.
All right.
Have a motion for recess.
Second?
Have a motion for recess and a second. Roll call, please.
Mr. King,
Yes.
Mr. Reagan,
Yes.
Mr. Henry.
Yes. Recess.
Thanks. Good meeting.